Pokémon Diamond and Pearl are strange games. When they were first released in 2007, they were generally well received. But as the years have gone by, the general consensus seems to be that they are now among some of the worst in the series. And as one of the few Pokemon games I've never played, I was always curious as to why this is. So I hopped online and did a little research. And I ended up coming away with what I think are two main reasons these games are so hated by the Pokemon fanbase. The battles are too slow, and the variety of Pokemon you can catch is severely lacking. But here's the thing, I didn't want to just take these complaints as truth. I wanted to put them to the test and see if Diamond and Pearl were actually slower and in worse variety than the three previous generations: Ruby Sapphire, Gold Silver, and Red Blue. The following are my results. So, the first complaint I looked at was the battles are too slow, as in the time it takes to get into a battle, defeat the opponent's Pokemon, and get back into the game is much slower than in previous games. So, how I tested this was to time 10 battles from generations 1, 2, 3, and 4, and see which one had the longest battles. Now, I had some rules to make this as fair as possible. My first rule was to start the timer when the battle transition screen starts, and stop it when you regain control of your character. My second was that every battle had to have the player's Pokemon killing the opponents with one move. I didn't want long, drawn-out battles throwing off the times, so this is my way of keeping the times consistent. My third and final rule was every battle had to be a trainer battle. Trainer battles are generally slower than battles against wild Pokemon because the trainer has an intro animation before the battle starts and a quote at the end of the battle. Whereas wild battles have none of this. So to keep it consistent, I stuck with trainer battles only. Okay, so let's get to the results. Starting with the quickest battle time. Coming in first place with an average battle time of 28.8 seconds, Pokémon Red and Blue. Which I feel like makes sense, as Red and Blue are the simplest of the four games and have the least frivolous animations during battle. Coming in second with an average time of 31.1 seconds is Ruby and Sapphire. I think the reason for this increased time was the difference in how both games handle XP. In Red and Blue, it appears quickly in its head spots, where, as in Ruby and Sapphire, it's a bar that slowly drains, adding seconds to the average battle time. Coming in third was Gold and Silver with a time of 34.8 seconds. I think the XP bar is also to blame for Gold and Silver's slower time. And finally, we have Diamond and Pearl coming in dead last with a massive time of 48.8 seconds. Exactly 20 seconds longer than Red and Blue. Now, 20 seconds may not seem like a lot, but that's 20 seconds per trainer battle. And I'm sure you're aware of this, but Pokemon games tend to have a lot of trainers. Pokemon Red and Blue, for example, have 338 trainers. And at an average of 20 seconds longer per battle, it would mean that battling this number of trainers would take you on average almost 2 hours longer in Diamond and Pearl than it would take you in Red and Blue. So, unfortunately for Diamond and Pearl, I think the criticisms of battles being too long is a valid one. If you don't believe me, take a look at these two games side by side and see for yourself. If you're enjoying the video so far, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're super small, so it honestly helps out a lot. Thank you. Okay, so let's now look at the lack of variety complaint. The complaint is basically saying that Diamond and Pearl have a Pokemon variety problem, as in the types of Pokemon you can catch in the region of Sinnoh is lacking compared to other games. When I say types, I'm referring to what typing the Pokemon has, as in water, fire, grass, etc. To see if this was true, I had to do something a little crazy. I had to go through the regional Pokédexes for Generation 1, Generation 2, Generation 3, and Generation 4, and count how many of each Pokemon type each region had. If a region had the most Pokemon of a certain type, I gave that region an M for most. And if it had the lowest amount, I gave it an L for lowest. To make things fair, I excluded Steel and Dark types as these didn't exist in Generation 1. I also only counted Pokemon that could be caught in that specific region. For example, even though you can obtain a Squirtle in Gold and Silver through trade, you can't actually catch one in the game, so it wouldn't be counted. So let's get into it. Here is the number of each type of Pokemon that can be caught in Generations 1 through 4, starting first with Grass. Johto and Hoenn both get 1 M, coming in first place with 22 Grass-type Pokemon. Sinnoh gets our first L, coming in last with only 12. For Ghost type, Sinnoh strikes back with his first M, totaling 8, and Kanto gets its first L with only 3 Ghost types. Kanto takes another L, coming in with only 3 Dragon types, and Hoenn gets an M, coming in with 10. Johto takes top spot for Ice types with 9, and Sinnoh takes another L with only 4. Sinnoh once again strikes back after a loss, totaling the most fighting Pokemon at 12. And Kanto comes in last with 8. Johto wins another round with 16 electric Pokemon, and Sinnoh once again comes in last with only 7. Next is Bug, which Johto takes home handedly with 22 in total, and Kanto once again brings up the rear with only 12. Hoenn narrowly beats out Johto for the most water Pokemon at 46. And Kanto gets the L for only 32. Johto gets its 5th M with 24 ground Pokemon, and Kanto gets its 3rd loss in a row with only 14. Hoenn nabs top spot with 19 rock Pokemon, and Sinnoh comes in last with 10. Johto destroys the normal typing with 44 normal Pokemon, and there's actually a 3-way tie for last between the remaining regions. Johto takes another one with 18 fire types, and Sinnoh comes in last with only 5. Yes, you heard me right, 5. Johto also takes poison with 47 overall, which is the most of any type, by the way. And Hoenn takes a rare L with only 17 poison types. In case you haven't been keeping track, we're all tied up for L's, with Kanto and Sinnoh both having 7. There are only 2 types left, so we'll either have a tie, or we'll know once and for all which generation has the worst Pokemon variety. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your booties. Right off the bat, Johto comes in with 34 flying types, and Kanto drops the ball with only 19. Sinnoh gets 22, saving it from last place. And the last is Hoenn, which narrowly beats out Kanto with 21. So that means Kanto is guaranteed at least a tie for last place. Let's see if Sinnoh joins it there. The last type is Psychic. Hoenn comes in with 28. Johto with 23. Sinnoh drops the ball hard with only 16. If Kanto gets lower than 16, it takes home the trophy for the least Pokemon variety. If it has more than 16, Sinnoh and Kanto both tie for last. Let's see what it is. 14! So Kanto is the undisputed lack of variety champion. Oh yeah, and Johto has the best, in case you were wondering. So, even though Kanto has the worst Pokemon variety, Sinnoh is not that far behind. And for it being 3 generations later than Kanto, that's almost unacceptable. When Red and Blue were released, there was only 151 Pokemon. When Diamond and Pearl were released, there was 493. There is no reason why these 2 regions should be even close. Diamond and Pearl have so many more Pokemon to pull from. So, Even though it's not technically the worst in terms of variety, I'm still calling this criticism valid. But just barely. Because, honestly, they should have done so much better. So, there it is. Pokémon Diamond and Pearl are slow games with a Pokémon variety problem. And for a lot of people, that ruined their experience with the games. But if you don't care about that sort of thing, just tell me to shove it up my ass in the comments like you normally do. I just hope after all this, you can see why some people might hate Pokémon Diamond and Pearl.